it is time for another exclusive. All right. Now, before we get into this exclusive, there's two things I need to let you know. One, I'll be live on here tonight at 6 o'clock UK time for 1 hour. Two, there is a video for channel members on here today about Alexis McAllister and Real Madrid. So if you're a channel member, you know where to go to watch that. Now, this exclusive is not an article. It's actually a post on social media on X, aka Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter. I'm going to read the claim to you, and Dave's going to give his take. Dave is my AI assistant that's been trained to analyse football news articles or commentary, the people behind the claims, etc., etc. You all know who Dave is. Now, this claim is made by Indy, the infamous Indy Kaela account. And I know some of you follow it. I don't follow it. I keep an eye on it because I like to see where rumours and claims come from, where they originate from. So if somebody was to go on the Cop Talk VIP members website today and started mentioning, this particular claim, I would be able to say, you do know where that came from, don't you? Do you get my drift, right? So it's important to keep an eye on what these fuckers are saying. So, Indy posted last night, around 10 o'clock UK, I think it was, exclusive. The message below was from our LFC source, right? And this is the message, the quote. This is apparently was a message that has been copied and pasted, right? The message below was from our LFC source. Glenn Tweneboa or something, has met Liverpool officials. Type his name in Google, and then there's two emoji eyes. So the author wants you to believe that his LFC source sent that message, including the emoji eyes, right? That's the quote. And then underneath, India's put Google check Glenn Tweneboa, who is a registered intermediary acting on behalf of Michael Olise. All right. Now, Michael Olise has been linked heavily with Liverpool since the transfer window closed. Right. Only in the last, 24 hours or so, there were, claims coming out of his club that, he's not going anywhere, that kind of thing. Yeah. I can't remember the exact quotes, but basically he's in the news. Right. And this account, if you like, wants you to believe that a Liverpool source is saying that one of his representatives has met Liverpool officials. That's it. That's the exclusive claim. So if you're seeing people going around today saying, his agents met Liverpool officials, that's where it originates from. And I think it's important that you know that. Now, Dave's take is as follows. Who is Indy? Indy runs a self-styled ITK account on X. He thrives on unverifiable claims, vague, detail-free statements that can never be proven right or wrong, which means he can later spin them into a convenient told you so. His following has turned into a cult account, mostly teenagers and gullible fans who treat him like an insider. And I will add, that account, turns over a few bob, right? So some might say he's a genius. The trick is volume. He fires off so many vague predictions that eventually one will align with reality. Then he retweets it as proof he's always right. It's the broken clock method, right twice a day, but useless the rest. His supporters claim that mainstream journalists endorse him. They don't. Big name journos sometimes interact with him because it stirs engagement, but that's not respect. They're humouring him, in on the joke, the way you'd pat the loud lad in the pub on the back while he insists he's Steven Gerrard's best mate. In short, Indy isn't a journalist or newsbreaker. He's a social media showman running a parody-style ITK account that survives on hedges, obvious guesses, and the naivety of fans who don't see the trick. Now, the reality check here is, regarding this specific claim, it says another vague source claim. No quotes, no names, no proof of any meeting, and no evidence it even took place. I mean, there is a quote in the sense of this is what has been sent to me, but no person or individual is quoted, if that makes sense. And in fairness, journalists often don't say who is being quoted. They might say a source close to, so maybe Dave's been a bit unfair here. The phrase, type his name in Google, is classic indie theatre. It gives off the illusion of discovery while actually telling followers to do their own homework. Glenn Twenboer, being a registered intermediary, is public information available to anyone, not insider knowledge. The post connects a legitimate agent to Liverpool by implication, but provides no details of when, where, or why this supposing meeting happened. If Liverpool ever make contact with Olise or his representatives in the future, Indy can retweet this as "told you so." If not, it just fades quietly into the feed. Crucially, Michael Olise has already been heavily linked with Liverpool for months, so this isn't a bold prediction. It's another example of Indy latching onto an existing, widely circulated story and pretending he's ahead of it. Dave's final verdict, 0% scoop, 100% hedge. It's the same pattern again, an unverifiable claim that can never be proven right or wrong, leaving the door wide open for a told you so moments later. A told you so moment later. It might sound like my analysis is always critical of him, but that's only because the way he operates leaves him wide open to this kind of scrutiny. If he ever posted something genuinely credible, I'd call that out just as quickly. It's just that so far, there hasn't been anything worth defending. This isn't an exclusive. It's Indy taking an already well-publicised rumour, adding an emoji and a Google link and pretending it's breaking news. It's like telling people to Google grass and then claiming you discovered photosynthesis. So it's kind of true with the Indy account. I think Indy follows Cops Hawk on X or whatever, but I find the account funny, personally. I do. And the thing is, it always is, I want to, and I'm sure Dave does as well, I want to, and the same with anyone that writes exclusive or makes exclusive claims is, give us an exclusive with a player that's not been linked with us, not someone that's already out there where you can hedge around it. And if you think about it, when the transfer window closed, all the exclusives stopped, right? And there's not many at the moment. I check every day for you, because I like to review them. And you could say, well, exclusives have stopped, don't, because there's no transfer activity, the window's closed. Well, that's nonsense. The clubs are always looking to, plan for the future, the January window next year. The clubs sometimes even work, a year or two in advance. So there's always activity. The reason, in my opinion, is why there isn't a lot of exclusives at the moment is because the credible journalists are not reporting about things that are happening. So when, something's happening between, if you look back to the Isak situation, non-stop, journalists chiming in, that enabled these chances to come up with exclusives, hedging, around what was being claimed, because obviously, if Isak's on strike, it's very likely he's never going to play for the club again. It's very likely he's going to get that move to Liverpool. So you can publish exclusives like exclusive deal gets a little bit closer because of, and you can use your imagination. And I think that 9 times out of 10, you can predict the shit yourself. You could be an ITK. You really could. And the thing is with Indy, you've only got to look at the comments to his posts on social media to see the kind of people that it attracts. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you follow it and you just treat it as a bit of fun, that's great. Do you know what I mean? But I'm yet to be convinced of seeing anything that's made me go, fucking hell. I do think that it's harmless. I do think it's harmless. But the reason that I make these videos about the exclusives is so that you can see where they originate from, because what happens is people take this stuff and then repost it as their own. And I like to go back. I like to follow the trail to see where it comes from. So if someone goes on the members website today saying, oh, I've heard this, I can say, I know where you've heard it. Are you sure you believe that? At the end of the day, harmless fun, take it in. We have a note of everything that Indy says regarding Liverpool in our log. Dave has a log regarding Indy and every claim he's made. So we can look back at that And we do that with every journalist that we talk about on this channel. All right, guys. So if you've heard the rumor, that's where it's coming from. I don't think it's very exclusive. I think it does leave the door open for, well, it might happen, might not happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, tell me about where this meeting took place. Even then, would you still believe it? Because you could just pick a random hotel. And how does it prove anything? I want to know, if you're going to give me an exclusive, give me something. Not coulds, not maybes, not ifs, not possiblies. This is happening. And unfortunately, we don't see many exclusives like that. But I'll leave it with you. Do you believe it? This is a player that's been linked with Liverpool many, many times. But I must add, not credibly yet, in my opinion, unless I've missed something. All right, but I do tend to keep an eye on these things quite closely for you. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. That's your exclusive. You let me know if you believe it. All right, do you believe that Liverpool officials have sat down for talks with one of his representatives? Do you? Do you believe that this LFC source sent a message to this account on social media and said, Google him and put emojis in? Can you imagine someone, a professional person, doing that? What do you reckon? Let me know. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it informative, please thumbs up the video. I know those of you that follow India and think he's fucking believable will thumbs down this video. That's all right. It's classed as one view, one engagement. All right, I'll take it. It's the same as a thumbs up, believe me or not. I didn't know that until recently, to be honest with you. Drop me a comment. I always love to hear your feedback. And don't forget, comments make prizes. I give away a Cop Talk VIP membership each day now at the moment until I get bored of it, where I pick out a comment, which I like. It might make me laugh. It might be detailed. I might disagree entirely with it. But you get a free membership to the members website there, the VIP members website for a year, which would cost you $49.99. Usually that's where people come and support me. This is where I hang out all day long. Now, thumbs up, comment. There's a love art under the video if you want to support my channel. Anyone that does that, it's called a super thanks. I give them a shout out in my morning briefings every day. So if you do that, if you support me, I'll always give you a shout out, because people that support me are important to this channel. We would not be here without the channel members and without the people that step up to support me. That's a fact, all right? So if you see someone in the comments with a football next to their name, they're very, very, very important people here. All right, guys, hopefully I will speak to you soon with something else. Don't forget, I'll be live on here tonight at 6 o'clock UK time.